Brewers still took 2 of 3 this weekend, but bottom line is, man, they're playing a way more exciting baseball than we've seen the last couple of years, and they're winning games. We'll get to all that coming up next, and a look ahead to the Padres series on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Everybody, welcome to Locked On Brewers. Dropping this episode Sunday night. We're going to try dropping these on Sunday nights at around 10:30 or so before you go to bed at night and crawl in the bed, or maybe you're taking your iPad or your TV to bed and you get to watch this show. 10:30, we're looking to drop these on Sunday nights going forward to kind of wind up the whole weekend of Brewers baseball. Good to have you along. Chuck Freeman here, Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. We're the number one Brewers podcast on the internet for a reason, because you great Brewer fans out there, you get us on Google, Spotify, Apple, on all the major downloads. Anywhere you download your audio podcast, we are there. Anywhere. Just search Locked On Brewers and make sure you hit the subscribe button on all those and the alert buttons. It alerts you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. And of course, our growing YouTube page just went over 3,000 subs, and that's great to hear. Started this with about 800 about a year ago. So we're growing the channel. And again, that's thanks to you. And the show is brought to you today by eBay Motors. From brakes to exhaust kits and beyond, eBay Motors has over 122 million parts to keep your ride or die alive. All the parts you need, the prices you want. It's easy to bring home that big win with your ride and die every day at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items apply, and exclusions do apply as well. eBay guaranteed fit only available to U.S. customers. All right. Coming up here, we're going to talk about this game today. Uribe, the Padres series, and the Brewers made a slew of moves. But, I mean, I put this on Twitter on Friday, and I got some pushback on it. And I said, man, the Brewers, I think maybe they needed this change. Maybe this is what they needed, a change of managers. And of course, I got the pushback. Well, it's only 13, 14 games of the season. Some of you were a little bit more vicious than that. I mean, come on. And I know that. I've been around baseball for a little bit in my life. But the small sample size we've seen, this first couple of weeks of the season, the team is running. The team is put on a hit and run today. And if you're watching the game on TV, the guys in the broadcast booth even said, well, yeah, something we haven't done too much in the last couple of years, called for the hit and run. And if it was a hit and run, but it looked like a hit and run, but still, the double steal to tie the game at 2 early on. Those little things, a manufacturing runs. Rhys Hoskins hitting a fly ball to right field to move the runner over. I don't really, the guy's getting high fives in the dugout. I don't really look at that as, ABC baseball. I don't. I want the big fella up there swinging for the fences, hit me some home runs, a deep fly out to move out the runner. I don't want him to do that. If you do it on purpose, I don't think that's what that was. But anyway, the point is the Brewers are playing a brand of baseball that we're not used to seeing, a fun brand. I mean, last year, let's face it, they won 92 games. But most of those games last year, let's face it, we're sitting back here watching these games, and we're falling asleep watching some of these games. They're boring as all get out. 1-0, 2-0 in the 7th inning. No action on the base paths. Not getting guys on, or when you get guys on, you're not getting them over and getting them in. I mean, this team is putting up some runs, making things interesting. Like today, they're down 6-4 heading into the top of the 9th inning. And last year was like game, set, and match. Game was over. But you felt like, hey, with this guy, especially with Craig Kimbrell, who's going to play for every team in baseball, I feel. You felt, though, today, with the combination of Kimbrell on the mound for the Orioles and the way the Brewers are fighting, that, hey, you got a shot here. Now, Hoskins and Frelick struck out to end the inning and the game, but still gave us some hope. went down with a fight, which sometimes we haven't seen a lot of fight with these guys. Yeah, I don't really want to get into comparing Murphy and Counsell at this stage, because at the end of the day, we may all be hating Murphy. Some of you already do hate Counsell, but we might, I know we do got to give it a bigger sample size. But at least right now, they're fun to watch. They are fun to watch. And as Murphy says, who are these guys? He said the other day. Some of these no-name players, we're getting the most out of these guys. They are. Guys are coming through and delivering. Oliver Dunn, just keep going on and on. I love the way things are going with this team. They took 2 of 3 from the Orioles. Hey, I was just hoping they weren't going to get swept in Baltimore, because Baltimore's a team that's got its vision set on the World Series. And you look at those games, man, the Brewers, they won healthy size scores in both those first 2 games of the series. They were down 4-1 on Saturday. 4-1. Again, and I'm going to throw it back to last year, 4-1 last year, except for when they had that 9-game winning streak. 4-1, they were dead. But they came back and not only overtook the Orioles, but boat raced them, won the game, going away, 11-5? What are those Bambi? I mean, we saw this back in Bambi's Bombers era and Harvey Keene. We saw that, back in the 80s and late 70s. Some of you might not have born, but your boy Frean's here has seen that. And we haven't seen offense like that in a long time. Now, the Brewers got a different way of moving things around. They'll play some ABC baseball, but then Adames hits that 3-run jack on Saturday. I mean, how about that? Just fun baseball. Now, today was kind of reverting back to what it was last year a little bit. They were 2 of 17 with runners in scoring position, but they had been so good with runners on base. I mean, let's face it. What'd they say? Like 500 with runners on scoring position? I mean, it's amazing. They have been so good. The best team in baseball with runners in scoring position. So I'm going to cut them some slack on a 2 for 17 day today. All right. Not long as it's not going to be another week of that. But yeah, they have been so good in that area. And I really thought, even when, the Orioles tacked an extra run on with a home run in the bottom of the 8th inning, all right, 5-4, went to 6-4. I'm still thinking, all right, they still got a shot at this one. But, the Brewers earlier in the game had met at second and third, nobody out, couldn't get a run in. First and third, 1 out, I believe, and couldn't get that runner in from third. And I believe Weimer made outs in both of those innings. Yeah, I don't know about Joey Weimer. I just don't know. I would like to see Churio in the lineup today. But Weimer was in the starting lineup playing left field, and he still makes me nervous at the plate. I know he's changed his batting stance. We've talked forever on this show about getting rid of the hitch, and he did get rid of the hitch, but I don't know. Ideally, he needs some more time in AAA. But that was only a small sample size, and this is part of the one thing that Murphy and Counsell have in common, is that when a player gets called up, Counsell was not afraid to put him in the lineup right away or just throw him out there. And he did, and Murphy did the same thing. Now, Yelich has got an injury here that I hope is not problematic. But I thought the Brewers approached the Burns. They got him out of there after 5 innings today. I thought Ray outpitched Burns. The Brewers' approach to Burns was pretty good. Okay, they got him out of there. High pitch count after 5 innings. The Contreras led off the game with a home run. I thought they did well against him. Now, Uribe had some issues. We'll get to that coming up here in a little bit. Chuck Freeman, Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Good to have you along. All you everydayers out there who follow us along. And if you need some parts for your car, and who doesn't, we have a car sitting in our driveway right now that probably could use a part or two. My car probably could use a part or two. Passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships. It's also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle. Level up the peak performance, superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED lights, headlights, and more. Whether you're in speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. 122 million parts, over 122 million parts to choose from. For your number one ride or die, you always find exactly what you're looking for with eBay Guaranteed Fit. Your number one part selection place to go to. Your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back, because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need, the prices you want, easy to make your car the MVP, bring home the huge wins, keep your ride or die alive with ebaymotors.com. Eligible items apply. Exclusions apply as well. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available for U.S. customers. Chuck Frean here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. We're coming right back. Welcome back to Locked On Brewers. Chuck Frean here on a Sunday night. Hope you're viewing this on YouTube. We're going to try dropping these on Sunday nights from now on, going forward here during the season. And of course, overnights most of the time. Well, Monday through Friday. Somebody asked me this weekend, the pod was, I'll drop some short videos on weekends. The instant reactions, but the longer form videos, we'll save those, do those Monday through Friday, dropping those overnight, Sunday night through Thursday night. All right, Uribe came in the seventh inning and struggled. The first three batters against him, and I felt like Uribe didn't have anything. I mean, he got a double play ball, which that inning could have been a lot worse. But the first three batters reached on sharp singles to right field. And yeah, he struggled a little bit. And he came in the seventh inning. Murphy moved him from the ninth to the seventh inning, probably trying to straighten him out a little bit. And they need, I don't have to tell you this, but they need Uribe to be good, because obviously, the Brewers are missing Devin Williams in the back part of that bullpen. So they need Uribe to come in there and get out. So, yeah, he took the loss today. The go-ahead run eventually scored on a double play ball, but Uribe was not good. He's grooving pitches. Hitters are sitting back on 100 miles an hour. And 100 miles an hour to a Major League Baseball player coming right down Main Street, that's cheese. That's easy stuff. So, yeah, he's not good right now, Uribe. And I'm a little worried when he gets out there. Normally it was the walks with him last year, but now he's just grooving pitches. And in a tight spot, I'm a little edgy now when he comes, even when he came in today, seventh inning, because I've been a big Uribe guy. I love him. I like what he brings. And he's been real good, but he has struggled here a little bit. But hopefully he'll find it. They'll work with him and get him back on track. One guy who's struggling, which is surprising me, is Hoby Milner. Gave him another home run to a lefty today. I don't know what it is about Hoby Milner not getting out lefties anymore. But he's struggling out there. This is from like early in the season. I mean, well, we're in early in the season now, but I mean, way back, he had a 3-run home run that first weekend against the Mets to a left-handed hitter. I'm like, wow, that was odd. And lefties continue to hit him. So I don't know what's going on with Milner, but he's got to figure that one out too, because you can't have a reliever coming in and giving up rockets like he's given up. So Uribe and Milner are the two guys they need to straighten out real quick. But scoring runs, thank God this team is scoring runs. And the pitching is kind of holding in there for the most part. I thought Colin Ray, look at Colin Ray's numbers today. I mean, tell me you were not going to take this out of Colin Ray. 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks. You'll take that every time from that guy. You will. Now, he's counted on more so this year than he is last year. He's a little further up in the rotation. But, man, 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs earned, 6 Ks. Man, Colin Ray, I thought pitched all right for Colin Ray. Okay? And I'm not saying bad things about him, but, my expectations of him aren't real high yet at this point. So if I can get 5 2/3, 5 hits, and 3 earned runs, I'm good with Colin Ray. I'm good with that. So, all right. So they lose the game. They drop 2 of 3. The Brewers are off to a 10-4 start. I am really pleased so far, and we all should be about this start. And they got the Padres coming in next. The Padres are playing in L.A. as we speak. We'll talk more about that. We'll talk about some other moves the Brewers made on Sunday. It was kind of a busy transaction Sunday for the Milwaukee Brewers. Chuck Freeman, Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. And you find us on Google, Spotify, Apple. We're on all the major downloads. Also, you can get us on YouTube, our growing YouTube page. Search Locked On Brewers. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell. That'll alert you every time your boy drops an episode here on Locked On Brewers. Monopoly. Everybody's got a competitive side to them. And I'm sure you've heard of Monopoly, Monopoly Go. It's been downloaded over 150 million times. It's a great twist on Monopoly. Monopoly, the board game, that's what Monopoly Go is, a twist on that. You play not one, but hundreds of Monopoly boards in crazy locations, building up amazing cities that bring you big money. It's just not my competitive side that loves it. There's a lot of people. You could team up with friends. You could team up with people around the world in timed tournaments and win huge rewards. But to get into the game and join your friends, download Monopoly Go. A lot of people are playing this game, Monopoly Go. Download now, free on the App Store and free on Google Play. Also, want to tell you about the folks we want, financing. And of course, it's tax time right about now. We all love that time of the year. But Yahoo Finance is the great place to get all your financial information. Yahoo Finance, they're the number one spot right now to help you out and get all the information you need. You want to grow your portfolio. You want to deal with the rising costs of inflation to pay off your debt, your mortgage, pretty much anything standing in the way of you and financial freedom. Yahoo Finance, you get the right access and great access to news, data, tools, everything you need in order to keep and reach that financial freedom that everybody looks for. For more than 25 years, Yahoo Finance has been the brand behind every great investor. Whether you're a seasoned investor or looking for some extra guidance, Yahoo Finance gives you all the tools and data you need in one place. They're the number one finance destination because they look at everything. They have charts on there, ratings, analyst ratings, editorial perspectives, the comprehensive financial news and analysis you need. Visit the brand behind every great investor. That's yahoofinance.com, yahoofinance.com, the number one financial destination, yahoofinance.com. That's yahoofinance.com. And we are coming right back. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Heading down the home stretch of Locked On Brewers, Chuck Freeman here. Good to have you along here on a Sunday night. Brewers, I think the Pirates, I didn't see how the Pirates did today before this podcast. I did see, though, the line before the game. I go a lot on line moves. And the line move on Friday for the Brewers, they went from an underdog all the way to Peralta minus 130. So somebody knew something about that game, that all the smart money was coming on the Brewers. And then today, that line just shot up. The Brewers, or the Orioles, opened up at minus 175. By game time, the Orioles were minus 225. It went up 50 points. You normally don't see a 50-point jump like that, but such was the case. And by the way, the Brewers are an underdog tomorrow in game one of their series against the Padres. An underdog. We'll get to that coming up here in a little bit. Monasterio, not that he was a household name a year ago, but they've sent him down. They can't find any playing time for him. Sent him down. Last year, God, he was in the everyday lineup practically. He was a guy we all know, but man, do you even think about Monasterio? He was sent down. Bukauskas was sent down. He's put on an injured list, I believe. Bukauskas was put down on an injured list, on the injured list. What else happened? They claim Corbin Morton, former Arizona Diamondback pitcher, like an ERA of 6 or 7. Not very good. So the Brewers did make a couple of moves. And with Yelich, Pat Murphy did say that there's a chance that Yelich could go back on the injured list. He's been on the injured list before, not this season, but with that back is barking out on him again. And, Yelich's off to a really good start. And I feel like this happens to him. Yelich gets on a little bit of a roll, and then the back starts going on him. And he's 32 years old. So the older he gets, it's not getting any better. But man, I feel for that guy. You just want him to be in the everyday lineup. And now they're going to have to manage his back. The back is bothering him. I told you a week ago, it was a neck that sat him out a week ago Sunday. But, Yelich is, I don't have to tell you that he's an important part of this team. But we'll see come Monday if the Brewers do have to make a move, create a roster spot. By putting Yelich on the injured list, if they feel that he needs 10 days, they'll put him there and then they'll call somebody up. But, I think the Brewers are going to be okay outfield-wise. But you miss him. You miss his bat. Perkins, you can't take his bat out of the lineup. And that's one of the reasons why, if Yelich has to go on the injured list, you keep running Perkins out there. You can't take him out. The guy homered, had the go-ahead home run in that game. He made it a 4-3 game. Perkins squared the bunt for his first pitch. Then he launches one to right field for a home run. So, Perkins, keep him in every day. Now, at the beginning of the season, I looked at him as a fourth or fifth outfielder, but ride him out. Continue to play him. Playing great outfield. Keep him in center. Switch hitter. He's fast. Wow. What a bonus it has been that Blake Perkins is off to the start that he has gotten off to. All right, the pitching matchups. The Padres are coming in. The Padres are a minus 130 favorite against the Brewers, which I find it hard to believe, to be honest with you. Joe Musgrove is on the hill for the Padres. He's made 4 starts. He is 2-2, an ERA near 7. Was not good in his last outing. He's given up 4 or more runs in 3 starts so far. He's had 4 starts. He's given up 4 more runs. The other day against the Cubs, I think it was April 9th, he pitched well in the first couple innings, and then all of a sudden the bottom fell out for him a little bit. He says he feels fine, and he feels like this is the Padres. Reading some of the Padres news clippings today, the Padres feel that this is a big start for him Monday against the Brewers. We'll see, but he's had 1 6-inning start. So most of his short starts, 4 or 5 innings. He's had 1 6-inning start so far, and even then he gave up more than 4 runs. For the Brewers, it's some sites out there do say Wade Miley, but Joe Ross is making a start unless they make a change overnight. Joe Ross, who pitched so well in his last game, is going to make the start. So that's going to be that'll be cool. He started against the Reds, made a quality start against Cincinnati, and going to bring him out there again tonight, Monday night. So Ross against Musgrove. Miley will pitch on Tuesday against Dylan Cease. And then on Wednesday, the afternoon game, Michael King, and the Brewers have yet to name their starter against Michael King. But the Padres are playing against the Dodgers tonight. They had a rain delay in Los Angeles, and they've had a few of those this year. I don't know what's going on out there, but the Dodgers, I feel, have had more rain delays in Los Angeles than any team in baseball so far. Another rain delay. So they got a later start on Sunday Night Baseball. So the Padres will have to fly after this game all the way to Milwaukee, check into their hotel, and then play the Brewers on Monday night. But where that usually affects road teams, it's not the Monday night. It's the Tuesday. It's the day after. Some people think, wow, they got to make this long cross-country trip. They're going to be tired on Monday. Being around major league teams, I could tell you the teams feel this. Monday, they're not worried about. It's Tuesday. It's the day after they feel it takes its toll on these players. We'll see. Hopefully it's a late game, very late game in Los Angeles. I did check a little while ago. The Padres were up 1-0. So they were like 8-9 on the season coming in. And the Padres are going to be a playoff contender. They're a good team. We all know how good the Padres have been and what they're capable of. I feel like, though, a couple of years ago, the Padres, 2021, they were on the verge, I thought, of breaking down a door or two. And they went forward a little bit with Soto, and it just didn't happen. But they're in here for a first of 3, and then the Brewers go on the road again. Brewers are home. They're home so little in the month of April. Very little the Brewers are home. But, hey, we'll enjoy this 3-game series against the Padres. Yankees coming in a little bit later on in the month. And hey, there might be a lot of road games in April, but the schedule always pays you back. The schedule always pays you back. There'll be a month coming up down the road where the Brewers will have a ton of home games in that month. So that'll be cool. All right, that's going to do it for the show today. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. You get us on Google, Spotify, Apple, on all the major downloads. Go to YouTube, search Locked On Brewers, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That alerts you every time we drop an episode here on Locked On Brewers. Follow me on Twitter, Chuck Freeman, FREIMUND. We're going to get to more of your Twitter comments and your comments on YouTube coming up Monday through Wednesday show and Thursday. We'll get to some more of them comments. I haven't read haven't read on air a lot of comments, but we're going to get to some of those because I've been chatting with a lot of you guys online on Twitter. So we'll get to some of that coming up here in a little bit. So again, Brewers got the Padres 6:40 start on Monday in a first of a 3-game set. Joe Ross on the hill in the opener of that series. Hopefully the Brewers can take 2 or 3, an underdog going into game 1 of that series with San Diego. Chuck Freeman here, Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. See you tomorrow, everybody.